Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Good? Taking in those beliefs, doing the introspection that we spoke about. Okay, we have some people on that are unmuted. Okay. Okay, now that everyone's on mute. Okay. So, how many of you have actually spent some time introspecting on the various aspects that we've been speaking about every day? I hope some of you have started that process, if at all you were in the cycle of wondering, worrying, and thinking whether it's worthy to ask for that money. But the one thing I really, really hope that each of you have definitely started is anytime that you're giving out money, giving it out with the energy of joy, giving it out with the energy of knowing that it's going to multiply, giving the intent that this money multiplies to the person I'm giving it to, as well as for myself. I really hope each one of you have started that exercise, because I'd love to hear from all of you on Friday, or maybe tomorrow we'll take a call as to how that has been working for you. I've been receiving some personal messages as to how they're suddenly seeing so many things shift for them. And today we're just going to continue on. Yesterday we covered four of the major pointers that are blocks that could be there about our energy around money. And today we want to continue on the same. So, Mehak, can you please start the slideshow? Perfect. Shalini said that, somewhere relating to those points and doing all those mistakes, what's important and the reason we actually discuss these things is so that each of you can somewhere relate to what might be happening for you. Some may have one of those pointers happening for them, some might have multiple of those happening for them, and to just shift them around to understand that it's that easy to change that in your space. And once you change that in your space, everything from there can begin to shift for you as well. Okay, so starting with the fifth point that is there, which is wanting to fit in. Now, as much as any of us say, oh, I'm different from others, I don't think the same way. All of us have an inherent need to want to fit in, to want to fit into a certain circle, into a certain community, into a certain group of people. And so we want to fit in. Now, you need to examine the people that might be around you as well. A lot of times, we're going to invite and attract a circle around us that comes from a similar money mindset or a similar mindset as we do. And now you are getting to a point of awareness, a point of wanting to shift that. However, when that need to want to fit in is a lot more, because everyone around is talking about how there is no money in the market, how the economy is doing so bad. If there is that need, we all want to fit in, and somewhere you might restrict yourself and keep yourself within that same loop of not having enough. Okay, so wanting to fit in is a very, very big need that most of us have, and it fits into actually any area of your life, whether that is money we're talking about, relationships we're talking about. We invite a circle around us that has similar beliefs, and then we choose to want to stay there because it gives us a place to belong. Oh yes, all of us don't have this. So now the shift we make there is that when you are realizing that there is a different way to think, that there is a different way that I can actually attract money into my life, then you start becoming that change. You start sharing with people about the change that you are made aware about. So instead of everyone just staying in that same circle and pulling one another down, you start spreading that awareness and telling people that, oh, I'm doing this and this is something that helped me. Would you like to join me as well? And when you start doing that, that's when all of you can start raising your vibration and we can all begin to create a consciousness that is a lot different. Okay. Next. Fear, it'll all be taken away. So this comes in a lot, especially actually for people that might have heard of experiences similar or have had experiences that are similar. We have a fear that it'll all just be taken away. So it's a very, very subconscious, a very, very sublime fear that is there. That, okay, if I earn too much, if I earn extra, My family will want it, my friends will want it, everyone's going to need it and ask for it from me. So it's never going to stay with me, it'll all be taken away. This comes actually a lot at a genetic level as well. When we've had experiences such, our ancestors might have had experiences such where they've actually earned, they've been the one family member who's earned, and then everyone has sort of taken it away from them. So, at a genetic level, many a times people have this fear. It's very, very subconscious, but that it's all going to be taken away. So then they'll keep themselves in a cycle where they're only earning as much as they need to. If you find yourself having heard stories of that sort or anything of that sort, consciously understand, decide, realize that what your energy around money is and how you would choose to keep it. As we've learned yesterday, we're learning how to be happy for others when they have money. Here, we're also learning how to know that people can be happy for us when we're growing, when we have money, even when we're moving beyond the social strata that we might be used to, or that most of the crowd that we know is used to. Okay, next. Okay, stay humble, stay happy. This is something we've actually heard a lot in stories that have been told us that have morals to them. We've heard our ancestors talk about it, about how when there's too much money, a person who has too much money can never get a good night's sleep because he's always worried about how to keep that money safe, how they will keep that money intact. What if somebody wants to steal it? When I don't have anything to give, nobody wants anything to take from me. It's actually, we've heard it in many, many stories. And hence, a lot of us have the belief of stay humble, stay happy. So when I have less to worry about, I can just be a happier person. Again, similar to this is blessings. So, one of the things we actually talk about in theta healing, we explain people about vows, curses, oaths, obligations. Those are all things people seem to know about. Oh, this person has cursed me. Isne shraap dala hua hai. They want to release that. They want to release all sorts of omens that might be stopping them from growing. But sometimes, and one of the things that people never take into account, which might also be stopping the growth, is if there is any blessings such which are stopping you. Now, blessings are always by itself, the word in itself is a positive word. Blessings are something that are generally given happily. Okay, so which is why we never think that a blessing is going to be actually something that blocks my growth. However, there are some many a times when we don't realize and we give ourselves or each other blessings of staying humble, staying happy, of staying in the strata that we're in and blocking our growth beyond that. So you read an article perhaps in the newspaper about how these multi-millionaires, multi-billionaires are fighting over money, about how the Ambani brothers have had this dispute over money, or about how somebody left another person because there was too much money. And you read it and you say, oh, it's good we don't have that much money only to ever have to think about this. So that in itself would be in a blessing form where I might have stopped my growth and restricted it to a certain level. And blessings, since they come from a positive space, are something that can actually stay a lot longer and could be blocks to our abundance, could be blocks to us allowing that abundance and allowing that money to truly come into our lives. So, if there is any blessings which you find yourself staying on and off, if you've heard too many of these stories, then releasing those, understanding to how to get out of that mind space also can allow that money to come into our lives, and to understand that money is a good energy. So somewhere where money, the belief that money causes fight, money always causes disputes within a family, money is evil, anytime that we've had negative connotations to it, understanding that money is simply energy, and energy is what you make of it. If I use any energy positively, constructively, it's going to bring abundance to me and everyone around me. And if I use it negatively, then that's what it's going to bring. So it is upon us to create a positive energy around it, which is why the one thing you will always see anytime you see goddess Lakshmi, who's supposed to be the goddess of wealth, the goddess of money, you will generally always see a Ganesh ji or a Vishnu or something next to that idol, for the simple reason that they say, along with having a lot of money or having that wealth, you also need the discernment of how, the wisdom of how to use that wealth. And anytime that we're worried about that, that is something we might restrict as well. So, can we just now, firstly, just help program for everyone what it's like to know that money can be something positive and that they can have the discernment and the wisdom around money? I'm just going to do the downloads for each person to know and understand that, to know that they can be abundant and be happy as well. Okay. So, can I download for each person that says yes, that I know and understand the creator of all that is his definition and perspective of wealth, of lots of money, of having the liquidity of money, and what it feels like to have the discernment around that money. That I know what it feels like, how to, when to, and that it is safe and possible for me to allow an inflow of money and wealth into my life, and to know that it is safe and possible for me to move beyond the social strata, beyond the money energy that I have currently been in, to allow myself to grow beyond that, to allow myself to have more money than I have had until now, and to know that it is safe to do so, that I know what it feels like, how to, when to, and that it is safe and possible for me to be able to grow ahead in life financially and in all positive aspects, and to be able to inspire that shift within others as well. To know that I can be abundant and still be humble, still be happy. To know that I have the discernment of when to use my money, how to use my money, and how to have abundance within my life in such a manner that I can generate joy and abundance for others as well. And to know that this is safe and possible, and that I allow myself to have that. That I know what it feels like to fit in, and to know that it is I can feel comfortable knowing that I have people around me that support me and that are happy for my growth, and that I can make this growth without getting too proud or without the fear of losing myself in the process, that I can make this growth safely, happily, and joyously, that I know what it feels like to attract abundance whilst and allow this growth to be a very natural and joyous one for me. Can I download this for each person into every cell, atom, molecule of their body, every area of their life, at all levels of their beliefs, and in every language they may have ever known or understood, for their highest and best, and in their highest and best way? Just say yes to allow yourself to receive the energy of this download. Thank you. And to also know, for each person to also know that I know what it feels like, how to, when to, and that it is safe and possible for me to move beyond the energy of gossip, to move beyond the energy of mere talk, and to allow myself to be in an energy and in a growth mindset where I allow myself to have people around me that I have a growth mindset as well, and to be able to share this growth mindset and allow myself and those around me to grow as well in a happy and joyous manner, and that I allow this now. Just say yes to allow this energy into every part of your body, every area of your life, all levels of your belief, and in every language you've ever known or understood, for your highest and best in your highest and best manner. Thank you. Okay. We have a few things on chat as well, but we'll look at questions later. The 10 money points will be put on the group. Handling others' blessings. Okay. The downloads that are done in the session are generally on the recording as well. So you can just hear that and have and go through the recording once again, and they should be available there. Okay. Let's move on to the next pointer. Okay, so money and spirituality. So, one of the things we spoke about very briefly on day one, but what I'd like to speak about a little further today is about money and spirituality. So, a lot of people and across time and space, we've had a lot of beliefs around how you cannot want something materialistic like money and also grow spiritually. Somewhere the belief of having to give up one or the other, that you have to give up all your money, all your desires if you wish to grow spiritually, or that, if I'm going to be taking in money from someone, I'm going to be generating karma, and then I'm going to have to come back, go through that whole cycle that is there. Now, somewhere we've all grown to a space in our spirituality, in our journeys. And the era is at such a point that we've actually come to a point of how can we handle our materialistic and spiritual needs in conjunction with one another. Not me ignoring one for the other. That's actually an easier way to look at it. Okay, let me leave everything and go to the mountains. But now a time has come in our evolution where the biggest learning that we each have to take is how to accept our existence, how to accept our responsibilities in the world, in the society that we're in, and still allow our soul to grow spiritually. And the minute we understand and acknowledge that these two need to grow together, hand in hand, that I allow myself to acknowledge both sides of me, and then I choose to grow, that's when our true growth happens. So, when we spoke in the Aura Week about balancing your energies, balancing your chakras in completion as well, we spoke about how it includes balancing our lower chakras, which are related to our earthly needs more so, our materialistic needs, our roti kapra makan, and also our higher chakras, which are related to our more spiritual needs. The minute we understand, acknowledge, and allow ourselves to know that both of these can grow parallelly, that okay, if my true desire is to help a lot of people and grow spiritually, I can still earn that money and give it out to people. Okay, that I can grow in on both realms together, and that is where my true growth lies. That the minute that shift happens within us, we allow ourselves to have that monetary flow come in while we're growing spiritually as well, and we allow ourselves to release the guilt that we might be feeling when we're doing one or the other. Okay, I'm going to look at the chat after we're done with the block so that we can go in a flow. I'll also be doing a download for how to allow yourself to spiritually grow and allow the money to flow as well. I think somebody is unmuted, so please mute them. Okay, next pointer. Any questions or anything that do come to your mind? We are going to be doing the question and answer. At this point, I want you all to at least allow yourself to be receptive to it. Any beliefs that come to your mind that, okay, yeah, I do feel this way, allow yourself to have a note of those, because the more you're going to put them down, then I can actually take you all tomorrow through a release. And if not, then I can address any questions you all have during our Q&A as well, so that everyone can understand. But I want you at this point to at least go that, okay, I'm allowing myself to be receptive to whatever shifts my mind is already ready for. Okay. Somebody is unmuted. I think we're going to have to look at our settings again to make sure that everyone stays on mute. Mute and mute. Okay. So then comes the scarcity mindset. Like we said, a lot of us come from a scarcity mindset where our default is to think about there not being enough. Our default is to ask, Mehak, please look at the slide. Our default is to ask for a discount. Our default is to talk about, oh, I'm not that big. Oh, I don't have enough. Oh, there's not too much that is there. And when our default is to keep talking like that, even if it is done just to fit in, even if it is done just to in a manner of talking, then that is something that we're going to begin to invite within our lives. Let's move to a
So,
mindset of abundance. Simple tips as well. Something as simple as keeping money in your wallet or in your pocket. Just making sure you have some money in your pocket or wallet at all times. Something as simple as that can also help generate abundance. It's a simple security. You know how when you have some money in your pocket, and for instance you can't find your way or you're little stuck somewhere, when you have your phone with you or when you have a little money with you, the security that that tends to give you, that okay, if anything, then I can just get myself a cab or I can call, even if that money is not enough. It brings a certain sense of security by default. Similarly, our mind also, when it has some money, when it has something there, there's always the mindset of it's going to be okay. There is money. We'll be fine. So a lot of us now in a at a time where we know that we don't really need to carry cash around. Most people, I mean, I know a lot of men who will not carry their wallets around at all, or they might have a credit card but they'll not carry cash. But this is a simple tip to abundance. If you just have even a little money, have some money with you at all times. It creates at a very subconscious level a layer of security, a layer of knowing that, oh yes, there's money, oh yes, there's plenty that's there. And just beginning to, at any point when you have your desire set on something, I really wish to learn this, I really wish to buy this, instead of first thinking, yeah, but how is the money going to come in, but this is an impossible dream. Start by knowing, okay, I really wish to do this for this reason, and I know that I'm going to be able to do it. There's enough, there's plenty. The minute we really start believing that there's enough money, that there's plenty money around us, we allow ourselves to attract that. Okay, also a scarcity mindset many a times is, uh, I'll look at questions later. As I said, again, a scarcity mindset is also many a times when people will look at earning just enough to pay off their needs, to pay off their bills. And that is something a lot of people have, where they'll tell me, I want to do a workshop, but oh, I got that money that I really wanted for the workshop, but then there were some repairs needed in the house, but then somebody fell ill. So, which is when I tell them that now you set your mind to, okay, I'm going to put this money aside for this, and I need, and these are my requirements. These are the things that I really wish to do, and then manifest that money to simply come into your life, to allow that within your life. The minute you get into a mindset of there is plenty, there is abundance all around me, you'll begin to attract that abundance all around you. Start the small pointers and tips that we're talking about, and I promise you within a week you'll be able to already see what shifts that bring around for you. Okay, and the last pointer, may I shift the slide please? Now we've spoken a lot about the different blocks that stop the money from coming to us. Okay, but a very important pointer is this as well. What will I do when I have it? We think we're always gonna know, of course, money is something I need so much. I need it, I need it, I need it, I need it. But when I'm constantly focused on something I need, tomorrow if somebody gives you $1 million, somebody gives you a lottery for 5 crore rupees, do you know what you will do when you have that sort of money in your life? Most of us, as much as we'd like to believe we do, I urge you to write down a list of what you would like to do with that sort of money in your life. See if you have it in your heart to know what to do with it. See if you know how you would want to spend it, what you would do with it, and give it some proper thought. Don't just go like, oh yeah, of course I know what I'll do with it. I have so many things I need to take care of. Oh, I'm just going to get myself a house. But really give yourself 10 minutes to sit down, think about, okay, tomorrow somebody gives me this big check. What am I going to do with it? Can I think beyond what my immediate needs are? Do I know what to do with abundance when it just suddenly comes into my life? Do I know where to spend it? Do I feel like I'm going to be balanced with that sort of money suddenly coming into my life? Do I feel safe when suddenly a downpour of money comes into my life? A lot of layers of safety, security also come up. Oh, what will my relatives think? Oh, what will the government think? Will the government be behind me? How can I have that sort of money come in? So, abundance can flow to us when we really know what to do with that abundance. Which is why when people want to do something, set your mind to this. I want to do this. I need this sort of money, and this is coming in for me now. Which is why we tell people when they come in to ask us, okay, what is the investment needed if I really want to learn and shift my life? We used to tell them initially for one course. Now we give them the chunk amount of what it would require if they really want to make the transformation. And then there's the small amounts that are there that they can individually think of. But when their goal is set to, I want to do a graduate program, I wish to do this, and this is the amount I need for it, and I am going to have it, their mind knows what they want to do with the money. Their mind knows the intention around it. They know what areas of their life they're looking to shift with it. And with that knowingness itself, our energies open up and we allow ourselves to have that abundance. So make your lists. If you're too worried that I've been unable to pay my bills, I've been having to borrow, I've been having to do anything, still in your space, sit down and make your list of what are your expenses. Where do I need to spend this money? And allow yourself to think beyond that also as to what other kind of money I would really like have flowing in my life, beyond my necessities, beyond my needs. When you have a complete picture of this, instead of worrying about how will it happen, when you have a picture, when you set that intention, you will allow that energy to flow within your life as well. Okay, so these are the 10 major blocks that we have around money. Let me just do a few downloads for everyone relating to the last few pointers that were there as well. May, can you put the slide which has everything, all the pointers on it? So these are all the pointers around it. We'll send a photograph of this on the group as well. I'm going to do a few we'll let this be here for a while till I do the downloads as well. And I'll do the downloads for how we can allow money and spirituality to intertwine within our lives and for ourselves to grow, how to move beyond the scarcity mindset, and how to know where to put our money. So just allow yourself to close your eyes as I start these downloads for each of you. So, would you like to know the creator of all that is his definition and perspective of plenty, of knowing what it feels like to have plenty of money flow into your life, to have lots and lots of abundance in every positive area flow into your life, and to know that it is safe for you to receive it, to know that you are secure in receiving it, and to know that you deserve to receive it, that you know what it feels like, how to, when to, and that it is safe and possible for you to have the wisdom and discernment around how to use this money, around how to use this abundance, and to know that you can have lots of money and you can have money flow into your life safely, securely, to have that liquidity of money as well, and to know that it is still possible for you to grow spiritually as well. That I know what it feels like, how to, when to, and that it is safe and possible for me to understand and acknowledge, to take charge of and responsibility of my materialistic life, my materialistic needs, all the earthly responsibilities that I have, and to grow spiritually as well, to understand that it is within this physical human body that we have this journey to make, that we make spiritually as well, to understand that our spiritual journey very much happens in this physical vessel, very much happens in this earthly world, and we allow ourselves to acknowledge the and have gratitude for both, for our earthly existence as well as for our spiritual growth. that it is safe and possible for me, and that I choose to grow spiritually without having any monetary problems or vice versa, that I allow myself to truly grow ahead in life without constantly worrying about creating karma, knowing and understanding that the best thing that I can do for myself is to allow myself to fulfill my duties and responsibilities with joy. And that includes my duty and responsibility towards myself, towards my soul's growth, towards my spiritual growth as well. So I allow myself to know and understand what it feels like to have a balance in my physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual growth, that I can grow in all areas joyously, happily, and know what it feels like to have a mindset of abundance, a mindset of growth, where I allow myself to meet and interact with individuals, with people, with communities that help my mind grow, that help me grow emotionally, spiritually, and in all spheres, that it is safe for me and that I choose this for myself now. That I allow myself to understand that I come from an energy of abundance and joy, and that as I connect to that energy of abundance, joy, and love, that I allow this abundance to be within every sphere of my life. And to know that as I truly allow myself to accept it and know that I deserve it, that I know what it feels like to grow within every sphere of life in a manner that is happy, in a manner that is synchronistic, in a manner where I know what to do with this abundance and I have the discernment and the wisdom of how to have this abundance grow in a positive manner forward. That I allow this for myself now into every cell, atom, molecule of my body, every area of my life, at all levels of my beliefs, for my highest and best, and in my highest and best manner. That this be downloaded for each person in every language they've ever known or understood. Just say yes to allow the energy of these downloads. And as you say yes, just allow yourself to imagine a waterfall of amazing crystalline white light entering your space through your crown chakra and simply cleansing your energies and instilling them with these positive thoughts and beliefs. As you allow yourself to make this shift, as you allow yourself to embrace that you come from all that is, that you come from an energy of abundance, an energy of love, an energy of joy, and that when your energies are truly aligned to the source that you come from, that something as simple as the energy of money flows into your life easily, joyously, and with such grace that as you allow your shift, your change, to be bigger than your stories, than what you've always been speaking about any scarcity, about any issues and problems, when you allow your faith to be bigger than your fear, and that when you allow your energies to be aligned, your thoughts to be corrected, that you can allow this inflow of money. You can allow the opportunities that would enable you to do so, and that you can have the wisdom through these opportunities, through these times, that keep you aligned morally, emotionally, physically, and with complete integrity, joy, harmony, and balance. Simply allow these energies to seep in. Let your mind take these thoughts in. And with a beautiful, warm smile, allow yourself to open your eyes. I'll have Mehak share this photograph with everyone on the groups as well. Okay. Mehak, you can just stop the slideshow so I can see everyone's faces, see if we have the time to address what's written on the chat or whether that's something for later. What I did before zipping my aura is something that you actually learn in the theta workshops. So it's not something to answer just now. It's not wrong to ask for discounts, but we covered that the whole understanding of what we generate when we constantly get into a habit of asking for discounts on day one. So you can actually hear day one again, so you understand the examples we spoke about over there. And what you can begin doing is you can actually tell people that, okay, this is something I want to do. This is what I'm ready to pay. What is the best that you can do? And get in with the energy of clarity where you know what you want out of there. And you're not just haggling for the sake of it. If it is something you feel like I really cannot afford, tell them your issue. Tell them that, this is the best I can do. Is it possible or no? Or ask them for the best that they can do. And when you have that clarity, either you will receive what you're asking for and they'll come at that exact figure. So many times it's astounded us. Or you can gracefully walk out going like, okay, I'm going to see how to get to the point where I can bring in this for myself. Okay. About being in debts, being in loans. Once your energies are going to be cleared about this, there was also some comments about their money being stuck in places. Still work on the blocks. Once the blocks are released is when it actually brings about a shift. If it's an issue that's been going on for too long, then it is something to be addressed one-on-one, because it has personal level blocks that are there. It has things running in the family, it has things that are running across generations, or it has beliefs that are quite deep where a simple understanding it might not be sufficient and a deep release is required. Okay, but all of these things, even when you're going to start with these pointers, you're going to begin shift. But if it is a deeper issue, of course it needs to be looked at one-on-one. Okay, okay, the last thing I'm going to address is what Varsha has asked about, what to do at the last point. What will you do when you have the money? Having a clarity of what you would like to do when you actually invite that money that you really want into your life or have abundance into your life. A simple introspection question is, okay, tomorrow I get a huge lottery. Do I know what I'm going to do with that money? And think about a crazy figure. Don't think about a 50,000, 1 lakh. Think about a 10 crore, 5 crore. Think in dollars. Think about having that sort of money come to you tomorrow, not after 1 month when you've thought of how to settle all your books and what to do. Tomorrow you have that sort of money come to you. Do you know what to do with it? Okay, so I'm giving you a figure like that. It could come through a project, through anything. You have that. So when you're going to sit and think about that, and when you're actually going to reach a point of clarity, you might allow for that shift to happen for yourself. Okay, so we'll have Mehak put the links again on the group so that any issues that y'all do have that y'all can think of, you can put up over there. We'll look at that tomorrow before we begin the session. If there's anything particular that needs to be addressed, in that case, we'll do a nice release tomorrow. If not, we'll do a meditation to bring in abundance. So we can just bring about that shift that is there for each person. Okay, so please, and I urge you all and remind you all again, begin following those small tips, keeping a little money in your wallet at all times, and making sure anytime you're giving out money, you're giving it out with the energy of joy and knowing that it's going to multiply, intending that it's going to multiply for the person you're giving it to as well as for yourself. 3-fold, 10-fold, whatever you like. Okay. So thank you very much, everyone, from the team of Sesta, from the team of Joining Hands. This is Richa Parekh, and I'm looking forward to connecting